Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 814 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Tacomaldo, and I am, of course, joined today in pretend low Earth orbit by Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
And Chris DeBona.
Hi.
Gentlemen, it's so nice to see you.
It's great to see you too.
Get fired up. Bring up your energies. Nothing weird happened in the last week for any of us.
Oh.
Oh my God. I wish my phone would just shut up at this point. It's so many texts, so many channels. Like, oh my gosh.
Are they going to give you the OpenAI job, or is this? Are we talking about?
No one has approached me for the CEO
about
job
Rob's spine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that one's on. Actually, I don't know if I put that one on the list. Do you want to let's just talk about OpenAI for a bit, because that's the most screwed up thing in a while.
Well, the funniest comment I saw was that Satya Nadella just drove a gold car out of a clown mine. I'm like, he's going to manage to basically acquire. He already has rights to all the IP because of their investment, so he's just going to copy it over, take the people he wants, and say, okay,
clone the GitHub,
guys,
call it good.
You'll have fun,
That's been a weird story too, because like there's all these different versions of it, and like,
oh yeah,
I don't know that we'll ever. Well, I guess we'll know the truth, or at least some shade of the truth at some point. But like something happened, and I'd like to know.
So if it, what it felt like to me was a bunch of people realized the value of the thing they had, and so they were going to do whatever they could to make sure it was theirs. And it was like people who didn't have the ability or knowledge, to navigate this. It's like, the stakes are really high. You can't just, call dibs or shotgun on this company. It's not like that anymore. So yeah.
It's been fun to watch, because like I don't know anything. I don't know anybody that works there. I don't know, like I have no connections to anything anymore. So now I'm pure. In the past there's been things where I've had inside information because I know people, but I don't know anything about this. So it's fun to watch, I guess. But also, like, I don't know, it's not a Twitter scale screw up yet, but it sure could be.
Sure could be.
It's
worth more than Twitter.
Well, and also it's theoretically much more important.
I think so.
Yeah. Theoretically, I mean, depends.
Well, how many likes does it have?
More than last week's episode of Geeks in Space.
Whoa.
Which is
really?
a tragedy.
Oh, that's amazing.
If you are listening to this
that's
right
quite
now,
an achievement. We should congratulate OpenAI on
defeating
rising
us
above the astonishing influence that Geeks in Space has had.
The oldest podcast on the internet. If you haven't smashed
the
that
first
like button,
podcast, we should just call it the first podcast.
And still the best, I'd argue.
Well, I think so. And the most popular.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this right now and you haven't shared this on your socials, smashed like buttons and such, then you don't love us.
I think we can honestly say this is probably the most popular podcast among people we know named Cliff.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know. I think you should check. Just saying. I mean,
Magnum already smashed the like button.
Actually, like other things. Oh, thanks, Magnum.
Thank you, Magnum.
Very sweet. We know all of our podcast listeners by name.
That's right.
Blue, Tom.
Join our Discord, where the true fun happens. All right, so the oldest thing that I have on the list is the Titanic coming to 4K Ultra HD, which is not a big deal, except that all of James Cameron's, like a bunch of his stuff has kind of been like, some of it's only, I think, available on like DVD or like terrible rips from TV channels. So this is like to actually get like a really high quality copy of The Abyss, like a remastered 4K Abyss. I would very much like to have that. Thank you.
So my question is, will the seams show?
You mean in the matte lines?
Yeah, the matte lines, the effects in The Abyss. I mean, like, what's going to be the level of exposure?
Are they going to special edition fix it up?
Yeah, it's like I don't want them to.
Me either.
That's
history, man. You don't need to ruin
really
history.
True.
But I like The Abyss is one of those movies, like, it's been on the list for us to rewatch, to show it to the kid. This weekend has been in the last couple of weeks, we've watched Back to the Future 1 and 2.
Wow.
And I assume we'll round out the trilogy. But The Abyss is another one that's like of that era. Really good. Really good. Yeah, and Magnum is correct. The Meg 2 is a reminder of how much better The Abyss was than the Meg 2.
Well, I didn't see the Meg one, so I didn't feel comfortable going into the
No,
Meg
I
2.
understand. You were in
Yeah.
the dark
Well,
with the plot.
yeah, you would have been asking questions the whole time.
Yeah, and then there's nothing more annoying than that.
Right. During the Meg 2. Anyway,
why is that shark so big?
because it's the Meg. Shut up, the Meg. And True Lies too. I actually really like True Lies. So I'm and those are both movies that I own on DVD, and would very much like to have like a nice high quality Atmos, 4K HDR transfer. Thank you, James.
I just got an email from Carol Baskin.
Oh, does she want you to give her more money?
Of course she does.
No, she
We're
needs help.
approaching Giving Tuesday.
Oh.
She needs help hiding a body.
Again. You were such a helper last time. Chris DeBona, my biggest fan.
They're really cute cats. I got to give her that.
Totally.
There's a picture of a sand cat.
Are they as cute as hippos?
No. How could they be, though?
That's true.
Because the gentlest of drug dealer-owned animals, really.
Drugged pet herds? Drugged
pets.
So this one's yours, right, Rob? Ooh, that's a good
which one?
The Pablo Escobar.
Yeah. Well, they're finally see, I don't know why they aren't just outright killing them.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to sterilize them. But that's what they're doing. They're going to try to sterilize all these hippos. And I don't know. I haven't read it enough to know if they're going to try to do it with shots like they do with feral cats sometimes.
Yeah,
try to do it. Well, no, they shoot them, and the drug is basically they just give them birth control.
That's cool.
Or if they're going to actually sort of try to tranquilize them, haul them out of a river, and then do just a line of hippos, spay and neuters.
Well, I hate to say it. It's like, do they need to go all the way to the hardest possible way of controlling the hippo population?
Yeah.
It's like, they're like, we could just kill him, but maybe I can put my finger in his bum.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
These are the most deadly animals in the continent where they live, and they have no predators here, and nothing to stop them spreading. But
it's all connected, boys.
Yep.
It's all connected. They asked ChatGPT. Let's go.
Yeah. Also, do you know how hard it is to put condoms on a hippopotamus that doesn't want to wear a condom?
I don't, but you know who does?
Carol Baskin.
AI.
Yeah.
AI. I'm gonna ask it how hard it is to put a condom on a hippo.
Oh, I bet it censors that. All right. Well, it's difficult and dangerous and impractical. Well, I mean, it's right. The size and anatomy of a hippo would make it nearly impossible to find or apply a condom that fits appropriately. All right. The idea itself is more of a humorous or absurd thought. All right. It's calling us on our BS.
And this is why this is the best podcast there is. No one is anyone else covering the condom hippo problem?
Or leveraging the power of modern artificial intelligence to answer these questions. Crack it. Yeah, this is going to work out fine, Chris. I wonder if it knows about those.
So for those of you who are
it totally
listening,
knows this. The ChatGPT knows about Pablo Escobar.
I'm using ChatGPT 4, okay? I'm not like some
pleb.
3.5 pleb.
Ugh.
So for our listening audience, I've asked ChatGPT 4 what's easier, neutering hippos or killing them.
But you clarified by saying crack addicted hippos in the Colombian jungle, and it knows
which
specifically
it then knew
about Pablo Escobar.
Talking about the Pablo.
And also, you'd have to set the parameters of what kind of weapon you have to kill a hippo. Like if you have a rifle, That's way easier than if you have a fork.
Or a pit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How about like a small thermonuclear device?
Or just a boat that you just ram into them.
Like over and over and over again and give them a
Yeah,
headache.
yeah, like the Titanic.
Yeah. Or just like a
You're bringing all the
crane.
stories together.
And
This is
we,
what I
yep,
admire about you, Rob.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. A crane. We pick it up and drop
We
it.
have to raise the Titanic so we can drive it into the hippopotamuses in the rainforest.
That's right. Can Arnold Schwarzenegger and water monsters from deep underneath the ocean assist us in some way?
I think that, this
Probably.
is actually a stand-in for the question of, when they asked, should we get rid of Sam Altman and Greg Brockman? They actually asked as a hippo neutering question, and it came back with this nonsense.
ChatGPT
Between
is
the
confused.
two, one is generally considered the more ethical and sustainable approach.
How difficult is it to put a condom on Greg? What? This got weird.
All right, let's keep going on this. The most important podcast on the internet.
Christopher points out that we have gone off the rails. It's true. All right. So did either of you watch the SpaceX test launch on Saturday?
Oh yeah, that was great.
No.
It was awesome. It got up a couple
dug it.
kilometers. They successfully separated, and then they exploded the booster. And then a minute or so later, they exploded the Starship, and it was awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you saw the Scott Manley.
Yeah, of course. I also fly safe.
Yes, fly safe.
Fly
And
safe.
what it was very interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. You should go watch the Scott Manley. Don't
listen to us.
about it. Yeah,
but it was really cool, and there's some really cool videos. And I think I might have put one up with cool pictures, but not that it matters. So
can I tell you something about this?
You can try.
Germane to our previous discussions. It was the first time I had used the X application in forever.
Jitter?
Because you could watch it real time because of the Elon Musk connection.
Oh,
So I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna go to Shitter and watch it there.
I watched it streaming from some rando astronomy channel that had they were combining like multiple cameras and chit chatting about it. It was adorable.
That's really cool.
I did think it was funny that one of the people was like, "We bought a condo here just to do this."
Wow.
It's like,
I mean, that's commitment.
That is commitment.
Otherwise, because you're in the middle of nowhere, Texas.
Yep. All right, we've got a story about Microsoft. They are going to allow users in Europe to uninstall Edge, Bing, disable ads in Windows 11.
Right.
But us in America, we still have to have garbage operating systems.
Calling us.
Yeah. So the computer that I'm using to stream now is a Windows 11 machine. The last one was Windows 10. I decided to bite the bullet and just start learning what the new system looks like. And there's a lot of garbage in here, guys. I don't know if you're aware of it.
Yeah, you have to disable a bunch of crap.
Yeah, it's I would like it if a lot of things just was like had a big checkbox that said make this operating system slightly less stupid, and then it would do that.
Yeah. Y'all shut up now.
Yep.
Is the button I want.
Yep.
So.
Pedro Pascal is now apparently getting name checked as being the Reed Richards for Fantastic Four. So now is the part where Chris DeBona has to tell us that Fantastic Four is unfilmable and stretchy powers are dumb.
So I believe that Fantastic Four is unfilmable and stretchy powers are deeply stupid. But Magnum PI is driving to Busch Gardens, which I'm assuming in Florida. And listening. I have to tell you my Busch Gardens story.
Oh, goody.
So Busch Gardens was started by the Anheuser-Busch company. They've got a big, they had, before they were bought by AB InBev, they had a huge beer brewery factory, and then they put it next to a zoo and a bunch of roller coasters and stuff, right? So you have all these people doing roller coasters while smelling the zoo and factory emissions. So it was like America's most fragrant water park, and it was actually a blast, when I would go there as a kid, and it was super. A lot of my relatives worked there, it was it was really something. So have fun, Magnum.
So the thing that I heard about Pedro Pascal was that Marvel is solving all of their problems with money, because he's got to have a pretty high quote these days.
Yeah.
But
Pedro, he's a great actor.
He's really good.
I think it's even like I enjoyed Krasinski for the 2 seconds he was playing Reed Richards, but he also came off as like a complete goof.
Yeah.
And then he was spaghettified, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that was a fan joke.
That's why it's so stupid.
Yeah, that was a fan
know?
joke. I
Yeah.
don't know. I actually
I'm
just
susceptible to
watched.
fan service. We know this.
I
you
just
know?
watched a movie. So one of the names, Paul Mescal, I think he's one of the names that's in line to play the Human Torch.
Oh, yeah?
And I just watched him in a movie. Well, we'll talk about it. I'll save it for the end.
Gladiator 2?
No. Well, let's see. NASA and Japan are planning on launching a wood satellite in 2024.
So, I told you I went to see the Spruce Goose, right?
Yes, we showed.
What was
we looked at your
fascinating about
pictures.
that, I don't know if we talked about this, but their approach using Duramold for the surfaces, which is basically a wood composite. I mean, it's very much like if you just took the wood out and put in carbon fiber, boom, you got carbon fibers. And it was done in the 40s and 30s. I mean, it's crazy how much innovation's in that thing.
That
Anyways,
guy
go
was
ahead. So,
ahead
yeah.
of the times, man. That guy was.
Man, he's like an alien intelligence that came down.
No, he's what Elon Musk pretends to be.
Yeah, right. So maybe if Elon just does a lot more opiates,
there you go.
He can achieve a Hughes level of genius.
There you go. Well, so this wood satellite, they're talking about wood doesn't rot in space because there's nothing to rot the wood. So it's really light, and this is just
Lignosat.
What they had a bit in there that they said they've been testing this for a while. They have like samples of a bunch of wood that I guess have been floating outside of the space station to see how it reacts. It's like, all right, cool. And I think they said they were going to use ash. Maybe I can't remember. There was a specific kind of wood that they were going to use. Good on them.
You wouldn't want to use walnut; it's too heavy for space.
Well, plus all the toxic chemicals that leach off.
The walnut oils are no, they're not space rated.
No, that's right. Walnut oil is not space rated. You don't want to inhale that in the space station. Although they don't let you have combustibles in the space station, so you can't make the inside of your space station out of the same thing as the outside, which seems a little weird.
Yeah.
Okay, the next two are just cool pictures of SpaceX of the launch. Then we have a story that immediately got retracted, but Chicken Run, the production of Chicken Run was apparently running out of the clay that they use for their clay, and then then also on the list 20 hours ago I posted, no, that's not true. They officially released a statement a few hours later because that story was going viral. Like, no, we're fine. We just switched to a different supplier and this story is not a big deal. Which I thought was cute.
Yeah. Were they trying to blame it on Brexit? That would have been really funny.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, I was just looking at the story. So I love Aardman, man. They're just so cool.
Right? The new Chicken Run is coming out in December, I think. Christmas.
Dawn of the Nugget. Yes. So
yeah, that'll be fun. The Madame Web trailer, my wife actually watched this. She came in furious. She's like, this is so stupid. And then by the end of the trailer, she's like, I kind of want to watch this.
I know.
Yeah.
Me too. I know everyone's like, oh, no, this is going to be dumb. Man, everyone's dumb. It's stupid and dumb. And I'm like, I don't know. It looks okay.
You don't have to be a hater.
Yeah, you can just enjoy something.
I don't care for Dakota Fanning particularly. And I don't know anything about this character.
Madame Web?
Yeah.
It's just for me, it's just a little too close to all the multiverse crap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so overdone now, and Marvel has just shot themselves in the foot by cranking out garbage after garbage. I mean, they made their billion, right?
Yeah, they did.
So whoever's in charge is probably like, whatever.
For every No Way Home, we can have 3 Cravens.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, and it's Sony, so
Fill
there's
up
going to be
the cup
9.
and draw from
There's
it,
going to be 9 Cravens because it's Sony and they don't have restraint. But this trailer actually, I don't know, I kind of want to see it, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I mean, it's probably going to be terrible, but I like the
Probably.
trailer.
I mean,
okay.
neither of the Venom movies were great.
Oh, they were terrible.
What was the
Morbius
was a train wreck.
I didn't even watch it. Even the trailer was bad on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, you should do yourself a favor and just watch Morbius so you know.
It's Morbin time, guys.
It is
Does he
so
actually say
stupid.
that in the show?
No.
I
Thank God.
God, I wish he would have.
Yeah, it would have been so much better.
Would have been snakes on a plane level dumb.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, boy.
I think, Rob, we had the next story was yours, the No Daddy Shark in Sight. This was the
No, actually, I think Chris posted
what?
that. It was about
Sharks
let's
just
see.
making babies.
Parthenogenesis.
Oh, yeah. So this is a, Parthenogenesis. No dad.
No daddy.
So it's like, hey, what's the baby shark doing in there? There's no daddy sharks. And
Nature finds a way.
Yeah.
well,
That's
so
happened. That happens in a few different things. Not too long ago they had it with Komodo dragons.
I'm not trying to make things awkward for Magnum, but I sort of picture like in the background there's like a guy cleaning going.
Right? Right? They should have been putting condoms on those sharks.
Well, I actually see it wholly formed in my mind as a Far Side comic. Like, yeah, we don't know what's going on here. There's no male shark. How is there a baby there? And then in the back there's the janitor.
And the baby shark has fingers.
Yeah, right. Or he's got a little janitor hat or something.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Right,
anyway,
yeah,
nature finds a way.
I need more sleep.
Those guys need to see Jurassic Park. They didn't learn anything back in 93?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so Jules, I watched this last night.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did. It's actually kind of
It
good.
looks very silly.
It's very
Oh, yes, you
silly.
saw the movie.
I watched it last night, yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, I didn't know.
I'll tell you a little bit more off the grid or off the stream, but it's a very sweet story about like some old folks and like it's dealing with issues of being old. And it's got Ben Kingsley in it and Jane Curtin, and we don't remember the name of the third lead, the lady, but she's you saw her in like episodes of X-Files, and you've seen her in like 1,000 TV shows. You'll recognize her when you see her. It's like they show it right in the trailer, but like an alien crashes in the guy's yard, and because he's an old person, nobody really believes that there's an alien living in his house.
I think he's crazy. Yeah.
So it's all about what to do with unwanted house guests and stuff like that. It's very, very timely for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's a Thanksgiving story.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
Yeah. But it's kind of got a heart to it. But I mean, I'll talk to you a little off the grid. But there's some triggering stuff in there. But it's worth a watch. But you gotta find your warm whimsy place for it.
There was one funny scene in the trailer where it's like, Jules, really? I think he's more of a Gary.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, Rob would love that.
I did.
Yeah. And they actually refer to him with both names in the third act. It's kind of funny. The next one that I have is the typo. Asus apologized for a typo. They made a Vanity Evangelion motherboard, and they typoed Evangelion like Evangelion or something. It's like really bad. Yeah, Evangelion.
Yeah.
So oops. And that was an expensive board too.
Yeah, it was like an $800 motherboard or some craziness.
It was like $100 premium or something just for that.
At least they apologized, so everything's good.
Yep, everything's fine.
Yeah.
I watched.
Here it is. It's over here on the shroud, above the bezel, above the ports.
Evangelion.
Evangelion. All right, it's got 4 DDR5 stuffs here.
Yeah, but they typoed them. They're actually DDL5, so they're not compatible with anything.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Funny joke. I've got a memory problem. So
oh yeah. Wah. So yeah, I already told you I watched Jules last night or yesterday or a day or two ago. I watched a movie called Foe, which has Paul Mescal in it, which is what I was talking about. He's the guy who might be playing
Madame Web.
Yeah, Madame Web in the Fantastic Four. He's one of the rumors.
Oh, Reed Richards, right.
No, he's not for Reed Richards. He's rumored for Johnny Storm.
Nice.
He's kind of rumored for that. I'm not going to tell you that it's a great movie or anything, but it's just the story of like people living on a farm and one of them is going to be taken to space to work, and they're going to have to train an AI to live with her while she's gone, or while he's in space. But Paul Mescal's in it. He plays really sad, and I've only seen Paul Mescal in 2 movies, and in both of them he's sad. And I don't want Johnny Storm is not sad, so I'd like to see that the guy has the range to pull that off. But
To not be sad.
to not be sad, yeah.
Do you want to basically bring Chris Evans back as Johnny Storm?
You know, I'd be fine with that, but now I think Chris Evans is too old. I want a younger Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
I also watched one called Fingernails, which is another sort of it's, I don't know, sort of a drama romancy thing. But in this, the conceit of this movie is that you can use a machine to determine if you're in love with somebody or not, and the way that you do it is by literally ripping your own fingernail off and putting it in a machine. So this movie has, like, throughout this movie there are people just ripping their fingernails off, and it's horrifying, and then they find out if they're in love or not. I'm not going to say it's a good movie or not, but
I'm happy to tell you it's not.
it was okay. But like every few minutes, like, you're gonna watch somebody rip their fingernail off.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine, but I'm not gonna recommend it. Also,
Do they have to rip it off, or can they just cut it?
they have
bite it? Yeah.
They yank it off. It's really grotesque, and I think it's supposed to be a metaphor, but it hurt. Have you both seen Triangle?
No.
No. I've seen triangles.
Like the 3-sided
true.
geometries? That's
Yeah.
neat.
Here, I'll find a picture of one for you so you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'd appreciate that, because I've always been a little confused on it as well. Anyway, that was just Kat and I watched that recently. Oh, look at
So
that.
that is
that's
a
one.
triangle. Yeah,
Is-
that's triangle.
Is
It looks
that
like
that
an
the one you saw?
isosceles.
Is that the one you saw?
it's hard to tell. I have triangle blindness, and all triangles look the same to me.
So I'm looking at Google image search, and there's all kinds of, like, collections of triangles and all the rest. There's one here about sacred geometry of the triangle from some yoga studio, and
Sure.
I'm like, nope. Gonna keep going.
Nope.
Keep scrolling.
Keep on.
You know what we
scrolling.
should do?
What
Make
should we do?
a website that can identify if something's a triangle or not.
I bet ChatGPT could just do that for you.
Triangle or not?
Yeah.
Triangleornot.com.
Triangleornot.com.
Oh, you stinker. That's an octagon. Don't
We could
me.
probably ask ChatGPT to make the whole damn website.
That's just a fire hydrant. That's not a triangle. It's a fire hydrant. Anyway, Triangle is the other movie that I watched this weekend. I'd seen it before. It's really good, and you should watch it. I don't want to spoil it, but it's really, really good. Girl goes on a cruise ship. There's a storm, and then some crazy stuff happens that you don't want spoiled. So you should just watch it without me telling you anymore. It's very enjoyable. I'm 2 episodes into the last run of Doom Patrol, enjoying that a lot. Is there anything else on anybody's radar that's worth watching?
I have not watched hardly anything.
You've been
I
busy.
feel bad. I haven't even watched Monarch yet.
Oh yeah,
You watch any of those?
I haven't. I got a couple episodes queued up. I'm looking forward to it.
Sorry, I was just having ChatGPT create the Triangle or Not website. So.
Oh, awesome.
What were you saying, Rob?
Have you watched any of Monarch yet?
No. Is it good?
No, I was just wondering. I got it queued up. I haven't watched anything.
Oh man, I want to see that.
I haven't even watched the end of Gen V or Invincible yet.
Oh,
That's
man.
how far back I am.
That is worth watching.
Gen V ends great.
I've only like an episode and a half into Invincible.
Yeah, I've only got the first one. We watched the first 2 episodes of Doom Patrol, the first episode of Invincible. I watched the first 2 episodes of For All Mankind. And I still like it, but as they drift further and further into the future, I find it less and less compelling. It just becomes generic sci-fi show.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot more when it felt really connected to the era, the 70s era Apollo tech. You got a rock?
That you love so much. Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right, then let's say goodbye to Chris DeBona.
Bye.
Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
That was episode 814 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob, Commander Taco Malda, and we will see you after Thanksgiving, so bye.